Hey everyone, you're listening to Kinda Tempted,
I'm Kimai,
and I'm Tanisha.
and today we're kind of tempted to stay inside. Let's go. Woo!
Woo!
All right, staying inside.
My favorite
Staying inside.
pastime.
Exactly.
Yes.
Love it all the time. We had a lot of time inside this past year and a half, right?
Yes, we did. Since, what was it, like the spring of last year? I
Yeah,
think
like
that's when it
March, I
started.
believe, March 2020.
In the beginning, I didn't think that we would have to get to that point. Like, I remember you saying that you didn't expect it to get to the US because when we first heard about it, it was in Asia, right?
Wait, what are we talking about? What is it?
We're talking about quarantine. We're talking about COVID. We're talking about how COVID put us in a quarantine. Okay. That's what we're talking about today.
Ooh, okay. At that time when COVID was coming out, Brian and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, it's like the flu, like don't worry," because Brian's a
Mhm.
nurse.
Yeah.
All of that information at that time, since it was still very, very distanced from us. Um,
Hmm.
and so we like totally didn't believe it. And honestly, like my friends, I had like my two best friends, Abigail and Sharon and Brian, we went to get brunch. We went to this super, super crowded brunch place. Like we were at a table, a community table, I think, or like right next to
Yeah.
one. So it's like one of those tables where you just sit down and strangers sit down around you.
Hmm.
And we were like laughing and like we had to yell at each other to talk because it was so loud and there was that many people, and we were saying like, yeah, like COVID's not going to come in over here, like we're going to be fine, like it's just going to blow over, because we were thinking according to the news that it was going to be like the flu. And
Right.
then also, given like, remember like the Ebola scare too, that one,
Yes.
it was a lot more difficult to transfer, which
Yeah.
is why it was kind of more controlled. We were
Hmm.
not aware of how serious COVID was at that
Right.
time. And I think literally the week after we were shut down.
Right. Just
Yeah.
blissfully unaware, extremely hopeful. I feel like our generation hasn't really been through something like this where we have to be hiding away in our homes for an extended period of time. So definitely a
Yeah.
shock for sure.
Seriously. Like I
Yeah.
think that was the last normal outing I had with my friends, or in general too. Like
Damn. Like that's so crazy that you remember a last moment being out because I enjoy staying inside no matter what before COVID quarantine, after COVID quarantine, like I'm good. And
yeah.
I was just studying at the time, so I was like whatever, like I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing inside and I don't know. It was a seamless transition to get into it for sure because I didn't have to change my routine at all.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually really different for me because at that time I was going into work. And
Hmm.
I mean, the only reason I remember it is because Abigail always like mentions it. She's like, I remember when we were like saying it would never come here. We feel so stupid now and stuff. We're
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah.
like we're so dumb. Why did we think that and stuff? But I mean, I think given the information out during that time, like people didn't want to be afraid of it.
Right.
Um, and then it got really serious, and of course we had to be afraid and very, very careful and conscious of where we were going, what we were doing, who we were seeing.
Absolutely. And it was just there was a lot of misinformation going around and the experts that were investigating the virus like they didn't even really know everything about it yet, right?
Hmm.
So it was very easy to just feel that you were in the false sense of security that I feel like we always had before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really expecting things to just happen out of nowhere, right?
Hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially not something where it's like a statewide lockdown
Yeah.
where you literally cannot go out of your
Crazy.
house, and if you travel an X amount of miles out of your city, you will get pulled over. Things like that. Like it was really intense.
Yeah, dude. I was just gonna say there were a lot of restrictions that I think I wasn't really exposed to, mostly because I
Hmm.
didn't go outside. So I wasn't like too up to date on what was going on because like not many of them affected me during the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think like for me, like every weekend before, like my family would do something fun on like a Saturday because that's when pretty much most of my family is off. Then
Hmm.
we, maybe go to the beach or something. And I remembered like my mom would want to go to the beach, but it was restricted or things were closed. Like if you were on the beach, you had to be walking. No one could be like sitting down
Right.
and
Yeah.
chilling at the beach, things like
Yeah.
that. And I mean, I think I mean, I'm in San Jose, and I do think that NorCal made the restrictions happen pretty fast, and they took it very seriously. Like people were like getting fines if they were out and had no reason to be and stuff like that. And I mean, I appreciate it because NorCal locked down pretty quickly. We did have a crazy amount of cases, but I think we were able to like curve it a little bit and not have as
Yeah.
not as I've have as much crazy incidents. Actually,
Hmm.
it was still crazy, but I'm thankful that we were able to like lock down. A lot of people were resistant of it, but I was okay because I mean, I'll be honest, I'm an introvert
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Same, same.
staying home and away from people, like I'm thriving. So
Sounds
I'm
like a
okay with
dream
that.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I definitely feel that NorCal had way more of um like running around, like trying to figure out what to do, and the cases were more intense up there compared to SoCal. So I'm in SoCal, and I also have cousins that are living in San Jose,
Hmm.
where you are, and I could definitely feel all of the anxiety that they had through the group chats that we had, and see just how different it was from the north to the south, which is like crazy, right?
Yeah, it really was. And I think I mean, LA at one point was like the epicenter.
Right.
It had so many
That's
cases. And
true.
I think it's just, different cities, different
Yes.
legislation.
Yes.
I think, I mean, I don't know why, but you can all speculate as to why NorCal would act faster than other states or counties and things like that. But it was it was kind of crazy because I think we were the most strict in the lockdown too. I think
Yeah.
people in other areas were just like, you can't even like have two people go in the grocery store, like
Yeah.
two people in one family go in the grocery store together. Like you're
Right.
limiting people going to the beach. Like, isn't that crazy? And like,
Yeah.
man, it's crazy. But we did have cases. Our hospitals were busy, and we had to fucking act. Okay.
Yes. That's correct. And I also want to say like population density too, right? You're in a city area. LA is a big city area with like lots of people pretty much living on top of each other. And
Yeah.
I was just outside of LA, like that's where I live, and
Hmm.
it just wasn't that intense. So it almost felt like once you left LA, to go a little bit further north, like people felt that they were immune, like nothing would
Yeah.
touch them because the news also portrayed it so differently too from place to place. So,
Yeah, I remember actually like so Brian really wanted to visit our friend Roberto and he's in Ventura. So that's like, kind of middle SoCal, Santa Barbara area, like kind of mid California.
mhm.
Um and when we went there, oh my God, and this was June of 2020. So it was kind of settling down because it was kind of hot,
Yeah.
but there were still cases and restrictions. Like I
Mhm.
think we went to go visit because Brian really missed Roberto. We really wanted to see him. And also we were able to see you during that time.
Right.
I was very, very nervous to go, and when I got there, I was even more nervous because people weren't really wearing masks, people
Right.
weren't social distancing. I
Yes.
was like, oh my goodness, this is so different than San Jose because nothing is open in San Jose. But over there,
Yeah.
like restaurants were open and things like
Right.
that. And what also freaked me out was that literally the weekend after we had left,
Mhm.
there was a huge surge in that county.
Yes, absolutely. Once you feel like you're safe, that's when everybody goes outside, touches each other, like talks to each other, gets
Yeah,
close to one another, and then cases go back up again. And
exactly. So it was pretty concerning and
right.
I was freaked out. when that happened, and when I heard the news about that county and
Mhm.
everything. I mean, thankfully, we didn't. I mean, okay. I mean, overall, while COVID is happening, I have not gotten COVID as to the best
Right.
of my knowledge. And I'm
Yeah.
very, very thankful. I think, it's due to maybe just my family being careful, me being
Right.
careful, and just being lucky
Mhm.
to not have come across it. And if I have, because some people have different symptoms or no symptoms at all. If I have, I did not have any symptoms. So, yeah.
Yeah. I am also lucky to never have had it, or I don't think I've had it. I haven't felt sick or anything, and nobody else in my immediate family has gotten it either. So, very,
Mhm.
very lucky there. Um, just talking about how I reacted to what was going on. I remember at the time, like, I had just gotten to a gym routine and I was
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
no, I'm gonna lose all my progress, like this is the end of my consistency, whatever. And like I was kind of upset with that. But also, I did have a terrible mindset surrounding fitness during the time. So I was thankful that the gyms shut down, like in a way that like made sense for me
Yeah.
to take a step back and like rethink the mentality that I had. Obviously, we're not happy that there's a quarantine and a virus like going around, right? But I was thankful for that in the moment. And I also spent many, many months away from my boyfriend, Dave. And that was particularly difficult for us because if you remember our love language episode, like physical touch is very important, and you cannot physically touch your partner when you are an hour away
Quarantining.
and in
Yeah.
quarantine.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was hard. And I understand that that was also hard for a lot of other couples who weren't living together at the time.
Yeah, for sure. During COVID and
Hmm.
lockdown, I was going into work, but then since we had to shut down our location, I was furloughed until this past January. I was able to go back to work. And it was because, my position was not considered essential. And also, I was thankful because I have my grandma who
Yes.
my dad visits almost every other day or something because she lives pretty much by herself.
Yeah.
Um, and we were worried because it's like, okay, if we all like went to work, we have a higher chance of catching it and it may spread to my grandma because my dad sees her pretty often. And
Yes.
it was really sad because I love my grandma, I love everyone in my family, but we were not able to see each other. And like it really hurt because, I feel like people who are older and younger, so people who just can't understand what's going on,
Right.
and especially when like my grandma, she just wants to go out. She used to go out for walks on her own,
Yeah.
and before we would be worried about like, oh, like what if she just like fell and no one could help her? But now it's like she could be perfectly fine going on that walk, but maybe come across someone and get sick, and like
Yes.
you just never know. So
Super
like
scary.
that was yeah, that was huge concern during that time while we were locked down. And I mean, personally, I believe in COVID. There's a lot of information out
Same.
there and different beliefs. I believe in COVID. I comply with the safety suggestions,
Right.
mask and social distancing. Very, very important to me.
Hmm.
And also, washing your hands.
Absolutely. Please continue to wash your hands even
Yeah.
after all the restrictions are lifted. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you should have been washing your hands before too. It's Isn't
We
it
can
amazing?
only hope.
Yeah, like when COVID was coming out and we were putting more signs up at work, like remember to wash your hands, remember to sneeze into your elbow. I'm like, y'all weren't doing that already? Like, why is this a reminder? It's like basic
Yeah.
hygiene. And
Right.
like people are just like, oh my God, I can't believe you want me to wash my hands. Like, no, like you should have already been washing your hands. Like, I can't believe you weren't washing your hands?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that before I wasn't as conscious
Yes.
as to like clean and like hand sanitizer and clean my desk and things like that. Now I'm like, oh my God, thank goodness for masks because
Yeah.
people are spitting all over my
Right.
desk.
Absolutely.
People are touching their nose and touching my area, and I should be sanitizing. So now I think like there are many silver linings that you can find.
Hmm.
For me, I think just people being more conscious about cleanliness. Like, I think I saw a post where it's like, has anyone really gotten sick? I mean, other than COVID, but like, has
Mhm.
anyone gotten a cold or the flu since COVID has happened? It's like, honestly, I haven't been sick.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Right. I also have not been sick, but that could also be attributed to me being inside my home for like the past few years, like, and that's all I do. I just don't go outside, so maybe that's why. Um, but for sure, it's like, oh, now we're scared to touch surfaces, like
Hmm.
when technically we should have been like conscious about it, slightly scared about it before.
Yeah,
And if you've ever taken like a microbiology class or anything, like you know that there is shit everywhere. You could
there
die
really
at
is.
literally any moment. Like,
It's true.
yeah,
Like,
but people, yeah, people
no,
are
go
just
ahead.
not conscious of it. If you haven't had like that education though, and I
Hmm.
get it for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I did a lot of shit. Like, okay, no, not crazy shit, okay, but like, I have been to like Vietnam or like countries that you may think are not as clean
Hmm.
as,
Hmm.
the States or something. And I would always say like, you know what, if I survive Vietnam without getting like any like stomach problems or things like that, like
Yeah.
I'll be fine here. So like
Yeah.
a little piece of chicken falls on the table. That's fine, I'll eat it. But now I'm like, ooh, that
Yes.
chicken is going in the trash. Like
That's right.
I do not know who has been at this table. I'm not
Right.
going to compromise my body anymore for this shit.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. I would definitely like also once I would get back from the supermarket or something, I would like wipe down my phone and everything. And like
Hmm.
technically I should have been doing this before,
Yeah.
but I just wasn't like conscious of it back then. And then definitely like with the mask protocol and everything, I would also like follow all of the guidelines and restrictions for sure. Um, I was really concerned about like finding a good, comfortable mask at the time,
Hmm.
especially because I knew I was going to be taking the MCAT at some point and I'd have to have a mask on. So I was like, okay, let me find something that I won't like hyperventilate in while I'm stressed trying to take this
Yeah.
test. And yeah, and I knew that Kim Mai and Brian, what is it, Brian's sister, right?
Brian's
Um,
sister.
Brian's sister has I would do want to say it's like a small business, right? And
It
they're
is now. It's
called
official now.
Woo, official. They're called Sewn with Aloha. You can find them on Instagram, and
Hmm.
the masks that I ordered from their Instagram page, like I love them so much. Like I wear
Yeah.
them every freaking day. I wear them to the gym. Like those are the most comfortable masks I found to work out with at the gym. So I'm just very grateful that Kim I was able to recommend something so great for me, and they're great quality too,
Yeah,
right?
they're
Yeah.
really nice. And I have really acne prone skin. So I
Hmm.
have to replace my mask every single day, which is really what you should be doing, guys.
Right.
Like I know some people reuse it, especially if you have the cloth ones, but like
Hmm.
really you should be washing them or
Yes.
replacing them every day.
Yeah.
But so for me, I am very strict about it because no, acne is not welcome, okay?
Yes. No, we
And
don't want her here.
we
Okay.
don't
She
want her.
can leave.
We accept her if she shows up,
True.
but we don't want her, okay? So, when I knew I was going back to work, I knew that like I'd have to be wearing a mask every day. So, I started off with like 3 masks, but every time that she brought out new fabrics, I was like, "Oh my god, bitch, I'm going to
Yes.
order some more. I'm going to order some more." I
Yes.
have like 20 masks, guys. And you know what? I use every single one of them.
Dude, the patterns are so beautiful, so pretty, so unique, and like you can have
Mhm.
a different one for every mood
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
And also, I think like a lot of people, I mean, you probably have felt this that when you wear a mask, you feel a little shielded away. You don't feel like yourself sometimes.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I feel like with a mask that has a pattern, you can express yourself a little bit more. And like people can see, like, oh, she has a fun mask. Maybe
Yeah.
she's fun. And
Yeah.
like that, not throwing any shade to people who wear like just the regular surgical mask,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine. But
fine.
like,
That's fine.
it makes me happy. I'm like, okay, like I have to wear a mask, so let's make it fun. And then
Right.
for me, the surgical mask kind of like tickle my nose.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
me
these
too.
cloth masks more because they just are really comfortable. And this is not an ad, we're not getting paid, but we really do love these
We
masks.
just are genuinely in love with these masks that come in different sizes that can fit
Hmm.
my small ass face and my Asian nose, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially when your smile, which is a big part of your personality, is covered with a mask. Like at least you have something else to replace it for the time being. I've gotten many compliments too. And it's just, yeah, it makes me happy when I look at it. And it's not just like, um, a, I don't look at it and think like, oh, this is just a rule that I have to follow, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like I got my phone, I got my wallet, I got my keys, and now I have my mask, okay, with me at all
Yes.
times. Yeah.
And I really think even if COVID goes away, quote unquote, goes away,
Hmm, hmm.
I still think I'm going to be wearing my mask because I like wearing it and I like the idea of not spitting on everything and you
Yeah,
know, things like that.
absolutely. I'm kind of worried, like when they lift the mask mandate, like what have I been doing with my face under this mask all this time? Like, what the fuck am I gonna look
Yeah.
like?
You
What
know
am I
what?
gonna look
Yeah.
like at the gym when I'm lifting heavy ass shit? Like, I don't know how that's gonna be, but I guess we're gonna find out soon.
Yeah, and I've developed some like strange habits with my mask. Like I now before, you don't want to touch your face a lot because of
Right.
germs and stuff like that. But now when I have my mask on, sometimes I have the need to just touch the mask and stuff. So
Yes.
now like my hand is on the bridge
Oh
of my
my
nose. My hand
gosh.
is on like my chin area, but I'm touching my
Yeah.
mask, so I'm not touching my
Right.
face. But
Right.
now when it's gone, it's not going to be gone. I'm going to be wearing my mask. Like
Right.
most of the time I'm probably going to be wearing my mask when I interact with a lot of people,
Yeah.
but I've developed some strange habits and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you guys have heard like of having or feeling like you have a phantom limb. Like if people get their arm amputated, they still feel like it's there. When I take my mask off, I still feel like it's there and I want to go and like touch it and adjust it like it's
Yeah.
there. And then I'm like, what am I doing with my hand? Like what is why?
Why? There's no reason for this
No.
at all.
Yeah, so then I have to
Yeah.
remind myself that like my face is exposed. But I do enjoy the anonymity of having a mask on too.
Hmm.
I don't know, it just makes me feel more like comfortable, I guess.
Me too.
Yeah.
I also like it. I can go out and not worry about people recognizing me, or not that I'm
Yes.
famous or anything, guys. Like no one
She's so famous now after this podcast release, like you have no
paparazzi.
idea.
It's just like I don't like randomly running into people. I
Right,
mean,
me
I'll be
too.
excited when I see people, but like, oh my God, Kim, I'm like, oh my God, who are you? Okay. Especially with the mask on. Like
Yes.
some
Oh my
drivers come
gosh.
into work and I have like helped them before and they're like, oh my God, remember me? And I'm like, I don't remember you. I don't know who you are. Like, please don't put me in this position, okay?
Just leave me alone. Like, stop trying to be nice to me, please.
Or like when I'm talking to someone and I fake a smile or something, I don't have to fake a smile.
Yeah, we've learned how to smile with our eyes and like that's all
Hmm.
we need now. That's
Just a
it,
little
you
squint,
know?
like
Yeah, you just squint a little bit and like people don't know what mouth expression you have, but like that's fine.
no, they
It's
can
fine.
guess. It's
They
up to their imagination.
it's a fun game now that we all
Yeah.
play. But yeah, I'm super thankful that most of the people in my area were able to follow all of the guidelines and the rules. And
Hmm.
I was not there to witness anybody like trying to fight the rules or anything. Also thankful for that. But I do know that there was some of that going on. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty thankful for that too. I think people in my area are very respectful of others.
Hmm, hmm.
And I've seen people wear masks. If you ask, like at work, sometimes we're like, oh, like, please wear your mask. No one is like, I will not wear my mask. They're like, oh, I forgot in the car or something, things like
Yeah.
that. Like, people are still forgetful of their mask, which I don't get. But at the same time, like, maybe they're at home most of the time, so they're not out wearing the mask. I go to work, so I remember it more often. That
Yeah.
could be why.
Hmm.
And like, I think it's just because, like, this area really sprang into action and they were very, very strict. So
Yeah.
people how to comply, man. How are the hospitals in your area?
The hospitals in our area, like, there really wasn't too much going on, honestly, in my
That's
area.
good.
Yeah, but like, what, I don't know, 20 miles away in LA. I don't know how many miles, okay? I'm not very good with those things, okay? But just in LA, like over the hill, like fucking crazy, wild every single day. But I was thankful to be in an area where it wasn't too crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. For us in San Jose, the hospitals, well, a lot in like San Francisco, San Jose, a lot of our hospitals were very, very busy. I know
Mm-hmm,
Brian,
mm-hmm.
he works in a hospital as a nurse. They had to like transform different floors into taking care of COVID patients. And um, people, even, like nurses, anyone working in the hospital, they were hesitant to work with like COVID patients because they didn't
Of
want to get it. They didn't want
course.
to spread to their family. So I
Yeah.
remember like Brian, like he like posted a video of what he had to do to get ready to take care of COVID patients. And like he really had to wear like PPE all over. And like, Sharon and her significant other, they have a 3D printing business,
Mm-hmm.
and they noticed in that video that he didn't have a face shield. So they sent one to him. They were like, he's not protected enough.
Oh,
So they sent him a face shield. And like that, I mean, that's very, very kind of them. And like it really, really warmed our hearts. But it's also like it's crazy because a lot of hospitals did not have enough PPE to protect the frontline workers.
right.
Luckily, Brian's hospital, I think they were prepared by because of the Ebola scare. They kind of stocked up on PPE,
Oh,
so
okay.
they didn't have the same shortage as other hospitals in the world, country, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was thankful for that because I felt like Brian was protected, but he definitely felt the high intensity of cases coming in and things like that.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of, our essential workers, frontline
Yeah.
workers, anyone who has had to risk their life in any way, whether you had to stay an extra shift at the grocery store, go into
Right.
work as a cashier, a
Right.
nurse, a doctor, whoever. Thank you so much for your sacrifice and
Yeah.
your contribution to help
Absolutely.
us live, really. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. And it's definitely terrifying just to go in, especially at a time when we didn't know anything at all about the virus, really, and just go and pray and hope that everything would turn out all right when you came back
Mhm.
home. So, yeah, thank you for your sacrifice and all of the hard work that you've put in during this time.
Well, while everyone was saving lives in the hospitals and feeding us by giving us groceries and doing all the important essential things,
Right.
what did you do during quarantine?
Thank you for setting me up that way. I really
I'm
appreciate it.
sorry. I'm
All of
sorry.
my unimportant work at home. Okay. So I did dabble in watercolors for like a week. Okay.
Oh
Like
my
that was something
gosh.
really
Beautiful.
important work going on here. Okay. Super
Oh my God.
important.
I didn't mean to do that, but like, where was the transition? I don't know. So
I
I made one up.
We understand the reason. And I just have to sit here and take it now because like I can't argue against it. It's true. Okay.
Yeah.
um yeah, so like what did I do to spend my time during this quarantine? Of course I had to study and all fucking day.
All
And that was
fucking day.
honestly, yeah, and that was honestly really draining. So my outlet after my full day of studying was to work out at home, and that was really the highlight of my day, honestly, is to
Mhm.
get some activity in. So I would do like weighted circuits, I would do like YouTube videos, and with the minimal equipment that I had, like I made it work. Like I found a good routine, and I also did like FaceTime workouts with like you and other friends. So
Mhm.
that was like a good time for me during quarantine. I also went on walks with my aunt and my mom and my family. So
Oh.
yeah, so that's what I did during quarantine. What about you?
I wanted to mention
Mm.
that I remember one of our FaceTime workouts. I had literally come back
Oh
from Santa
yeah.
Barbara or
Right.
Ventura, and then I was like, okay, like I should work out. And you're like, do you want to work out? Bitch, I really just had a 4 or 5 hour trip back to San
Yeah.
Jose. And I was like, if I don't work out now, I'm not gonna work out. So I literally just
She
decided.
did it.
I woke the fuck up and I was like, let me get a quick workout in. And Tanisha picked a difficult workout,
I'm
but then
sorry.
I also chose a difficult workout for her after. I
Yes.
think it was like a Vlogalati's like app video or something like that.
Dude, I don't even know. I probably like blocked it out of my memory or something. It must have been so hard.
But yeah, I was proud of myself. I was proud of us. After a weekend of fun, we still just got that workout in.
Dude, she was a trooper. All I did was like before that was stay home. And she had been like doing things that required energy. And then she still came home to work out. Like that's some dedication right there. Okay.
Yes,
Amazing.
San Jose was probably like, you might just got a knockout when she got home. And I was like, San Jose, think again. Okay. Rolled out
Look.
my yoga mat, did some
Yes.
rainbow jumps or whatever.
Amazing. I don't even know what the fuck we did, but we did it. Okay.
Anyways, so what did I do during quarantine?
Yeah.
I I actually started school. I
Mm.
was planning on doing school and work at the same time. I'm doing an MBA program. And right when quarantine hit, or not quarantine, yeah, when quarantine hit was the first day of class, really. Like I transitioned from going to work every day to staying at home and then doing school. And for me, that was a silver lining because I thought I was ready. Like I thought like this bitch, she's strong, she's dedicated, she can work and do school at the same time. I probably could have, but like also that was probably a bad idea because I am doing it now and it's draining me, but it's fine because it's great and it's educational and we love that. But it was a silver lining during that time because I had not been in school for like maybe a year or two at that time. So
Yeah.
I was getting used to getting back in the groove of going to lectures, having classmates, learning
Yeah.
and things
For
like that.
sure.
So during that time when I didn't have to focus on work, I was solely invested in school and also, like fitness and things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was really a silver lining for me during quarantine because, again, I was going to the gym consistently, and I had like good results, but I also like wasn't eating well. And I think
Yeah.
while I was in quarantine, it made me want to like cook more or look into like different recipes that I now had the time to put the effort into as well. And so,
Yeah.
school literally all day, every day, I was literally studying all day. And then fitness. And also, what made me happy was going on walks like you did
Yeah.
with your family. I
Mm-hmm.
went on walks with like my dad, my mom, Brian, whenever we could. Like, we went on a walk almost every day. Um, and then also, my dad was like, I want to have, like, he really likes to play sports, but he can't like go to tennis courts and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had to make our own little court at home. Like we had our own
That's so
driveway.
cute.
Yeah, like we found online these nets that you could play like badminton and pickleball. So he
Yeah.
bought like pickleball equipment and then the
Oh.
net, and we would play outside. And that was really fun. We would do that every day. And it was a good workout. Like I was sweating playing pickleball.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you guys have ever played pickleball, like that shit's kind of crazy. Okay. That
It
ball goes
is.
a lot faster than you think it does.
It really
Okay.
does. And sometimes you try to hit lightly, you're like, "Ooh, let me just like bop it over." And it doesn't go over, okay? It's like
No.
you thought you were strong enough, but think again, okay?
Dude, it'll fly a little bit and then drop like right where it
Yeah.
like yeah.
It's fun though. Y'all need to try pickleball, but it was really cool because we just found different activities that we probably would not have done because we'd be so busy going to work,
Right.
doing whatever, really.
Yeah. And that's like another upside too, is like, especially if you are lucky enough to be able to quarantine with your family, you get to
Yeah.
spend more time with them and you get to enjoy the things that you wouldn't normally be able to do together because of
Mhm.
work and other obligations. So definitely an upside for me too. Hmm.
Yeah. And another upside is that I mean, we couldn't see our friends in person
No.
or our family, but I tried to make the best out of it, and I would plan like game nights on like Zoom and
Yes.
stuff. So thank goodness for like Jackbox games and all of the companies who created online version of their games, like code
Right.
names.
Yes.
Dude, we fucking played the shit out of those games.
Dude, I fucking love those games. Like, we're still having these Zoom game nights till this
Yeah.
day, and like I really look forward to them. I think they're so fun, and it's a good time to just like get away for a little bit, like from what's happening with the world right
Hmm.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, before, and I guess now, it's really hard for me to consistently keep up a conversation via text or like messenger or
Yeah.
whatever, because I get distracted, and whenever I'm resting, I rest. Like I don't think texting is resting for me.
No.
So I need to like, if I'm resting, that thing is away, and I'm not trying to think of what to say next,
Yeah.
especially because I respond in like it takes me months or weeks to respond. It's a paragraph that I need to type out, and that's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
effort. And it's not like me ignoring people, but like it takes a lot of effort for me to communicate,
Yes.
okay? And so I think having these Zoom calls helped me talk to my friends more and like stay in
Right.
contact. Like maybe
Yeah.
for the week leading up to that call or that game night, we don't talk. And then
No.
when we have that game night, we do it for like 3 fucking hours. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? It's like we never left each other.
Yeah. We go hard. We like go until past midnight until one of us is like,
Oh
okay,
my
can't take
God.
it anymore, and then we'll
Yeah.
all dip. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's when we had no obligations to like go anywhere. And now I have to like wake up for work and stuff. So I sleep at like 10, guys.
Right. We're old now. We got responsibilities. It's harder. It's harder to party like we used to. Okay.
Oh yeah, mad partying over here.
Oh
But
my
if
gosh.
if you are struggling to connect with your friends, try having a, Discord or Zoom call,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
play Jackbox games or code names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of free games on there too. So I would really recommend it. And if you want to play with your friends, but you're like shy to ask, don't be shy. Just ask,
Don't
okay?
be
Like,
shy.
just, you can do it. You got it,
Yeah.
okay?
The worst they could say is no. And then you can ask another friend to hang out with
Yeah.
you. Or you can play with your siblings or like other people in your household. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, always a good time. I got to invite my friend Natasha, who lives on the other side of the country, to these Zoom nights.
Yeah.
Timing was a little bit different because of like the different time zones, but we still
Zones,
made
yeah.
it work. Yeah. So just really thankful to have the opportunity to do that with the technology that we have now.
Yeah, exactly. And like Tanisha's been wanting me to meet Natasha for like the longest
Oh my
time.
God. I
So
wouldn't
we like
shut
all
up about
met.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. And so it was like nice because, we always imagined it to be in person, but like
of
because
course.
we can't, like we could have been talking on Zoom for years now, we could have been on Messenger talking all this time, but we didn't think
Yeah,
about it until now.
no,
Like now, virtual communication is essential.
absolutely. And COVID makes you rethink your life and like, honestly, like if this were to be your last day on earth, what would you want to be doing?
Yeah.
So you got to make the most of the time that you have right now.
I will say though, make the most out of your time, but don't stress yourself out. I know there's
Yes.
like that mentality where it's like, oh shit, I have all this time because I'm not going to
Mm,
work, or I'm staying home for whatever reason. And a lot of people like are like, okay, what am I gonna get out of this quarantine? What new
right.
skill am I gonna have? Because everyone's baking shit or learning a new skill. And you and I are over here like, oh my God, I'm just sleeping.
We're
That's
just
fucking
taking
okay.
naps. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's fucking okay. Do
It
what
is
you want
okay.
to do. Okay.
Right. Definitely mental health first and foremost. We're going to preach this on
Yes.
almost every podcast episode, honestly, because it is very important. I definitely got into my own head a handful of times because I was cooped up in the house due to quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of moments where I was like, yeah, like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Like, I feel like I'm like kind of useless, and I'm not being a good friend or a good girlfriend because like I'm stuck here, you know?
Hmm.
So I definitely had a lot of those negative thoughts a few times, yeah. And then also during the winter, I think was especially hard for me for mental health because don't let anybody tell you that seasonal depression is not real because it is fucking real, you guys. Like when the
Yeah.
sun is not out, it's hard for a lot of
Hmm.
people to find happiness
Yeah.
regularly. Yeah.
It really is. Like, there's some study about it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to quote it because I don't know, but look it up. There's some study about it that proves sunshine's good for you. Okay.
It's true.
And yeah, and I personally, I hide from the sun, but I know that, like, a little bit of sun makes me a little brighter. So that's fine. But, I don't want to get wrinkles, guys. I'm just kidding.
Skincare,
Skincare.
health. Yes.
But I totally agree with Tanisha that um especially when you're inside all the time too,
Yes.
you are used to going outside even for a little bit, but now
Mm-hmm.
you can't go outside. Like there's a
Yeah.
difference of wanting to stay home and fucking being trapped at home, okay?
Right.
There's a difference. And that's going to fuck with your mind, and that's okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's really not there's a lot of things that can distract you from being, sad or feeling trapped. However, it is okay if you felt that way. I definitely felt that way. I mean, thankfully, I had school, and I was able to focus on consistently working out, and I'm living with my family. So those helped me be less, in my head, avoided like a deep depression, which I feel like I probably would have gotten if I was living alone, didn't have school
Yeah.
to stimulate my mind. Like
Right.
I I definitely could have been a lot worse off. But because of those factors, it kept me
Mm-hmm.
distracted. However, at times, like I mentioned earlier, I felt like I wasn't doing much, even though I was doing
Right.
X, Y, and Z. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I have this time, so I'm going to be a master at Photoshop. I'm going to be a master at Illustrator. I'm barely a master at copying and pasting right now, okay, guys? Like, I'm trying my best, and that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
all the things that you planned, if it didn't come into fruition or whatever,
Mhm, mhm.
like, that's okay. You tried your best. If you didn't try your best and you think you didn't try your best, that's okay. You still tried, okay?
Yeah, and you
And
can
that's
try
what counts.
again.
You can
Yes,
try again.
absolutely.
There's I mean, I'm not trying to be morbid, but, like, you really have all the time in the world until you die.
It's yes,
So,
until you are pushing daisies, okay.
yeah.
Um, yeah, if you guys think about it, it's definitely natural for humans to be feeling this kind of sadness, especially during a time when you're so isolated from other
Mhm.
people, because we are meant to be social creatures. We create communities and depend on each other for our survival. Definitely in like the old village sense, okay, but also in the new age sense where you have people who are making your food. You go out and buy your food,
Mhm.
you go to the grocery store, and you have services provided to you. And no matter how introverted you are or you think you are, and no matter how much you feel like you like being by yourself, I definitely relate to the people who say, like, I like being by myself, but I also need to go outside and see people. I don't need to talk to them or interact with them, but seeing people every
Mhm.
day makes me feel a lot better. So do not beat yourself up if you did have kind of a sad time during quarantine because it's perfectly natural
Yeah,
and
it
normal.
it
Yeah.
really is. And I mean, this is definitely easier said than done, but like when you feel yourself feeling down, try to find a way to uplift yourself. And again,
Yes.
it doesn't have to be immediate. It could really just be like, okay, like I'm feeling down. I have enough effort to like reach out to Tanisha and say like, dude, I'm kind of feeling down, or like I have enough effort to turn on the TV and watch some That's So Raven or something, like
Yeah.
something to make you happy. And
Hmm.
again, there's no rush in that. Just take your time. And again, if you're even still feeling a little
Right.
bit down or something, because we are still in some sort of quarantine, even though things have been lifted. Right now,
Yes.
we're filming this and the restrictions haven't been lifted yet, but most likely while you're listening to it, things have changed.
Yes.
Do what you can. It's also going to be a huge adjustment period once these restrictions, or now that these restrictions are lifted. So don't feel like you need to go back to normal, quote unquote normal, right away, because there's no fucking normal. Like,
Right.
people always said, like, I
Absolutely.
I can't wait for it to get to normal again. I'm like, there's no normal period, and it will not get back to how it was before. And that's
Yeah.
okay. So if you are there are some people who are very, very scared of COVID still, which
Hmm.
is fine. Let them do what feels safe for them. There are people who are very loose about COVID and are ready to take off their mask,
Right.
like Tanisha says. What do you say, Tanisha?
If you are doing something that makes you happy and you are not hurting yourself or others, you keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes. That's her new slogan. That's her new hashtag. That's her new long ass hashtag for our fucking podcast.
That's Tanisha's, because I can't remember how to say all of it. Okay. That's Tanisha's.
I will help you whenever you need help, Kim. But yeah, definitely once these restrictions start getting lifted and the mask mandate is being lifted in different areas that you are in, please do not question somebody's decision to continue wearing a mask. You don't
Mhm.
know what's going on in their life. You don't know if they are immunocompromised or they have an older family member or anything like that. So please just respect everybody's decision. Stay safe in the way that you think is best for you. And
Mhm.
we will all coexist happily if things go well. Okay.
Yeah, just again, this will be my slogan. Be fucking nice to yourself and others.
Yes, we
That's
love that
mine,
one.
okay?
That's a nice, short, and sweet one.
There you go. And I mean, just to like conclude this mental health section, guys, like, mental health is fucking important, okay? Even
Yes.
even though you were at home for 24 hours a day and you had all the resources to do X, Y, and Z, you didn't have to do X, Y, and Z, okay?
No.
Because what you're doing is you are living, you're breathing,
Yes.
and hopefully you are doing something for yourself that makes you happy.
Yes. It's
Okay.
very important to understand that you are surviving in
Mhm.
a pandemic and you are okay and you are alive and you're breathing. And honestly, that is an accomplishment in itself.
It really is.
So be proud of yourself, okay? Like wherever you're at right now, because you have gone through the thick of it, I think, in the area that we're in at least. And you made it, you survived. So
Yeah.
congratulations. Yeah.
And if you're still feeling down, I'm proud of you. You've gotten so far.
Yeah.
You're still going, and I'll meet you at the finish line.
We're
Whatever.
going way into these metaphors,
Yeah.
okay?
I'll meet you there. Okay. I'm
Yes,
kind of
okay.
strolling right now though. Okay.
We're we're all gonna be there. We're all gonna get there together. So see you there. Definitely though. Even though I had times of sadness
Mhm.
during this quarantine, I also had a good period of personal growth because I had a lot of time to reflect and get to know myself a little bit better because I was spending so much time with myself. Okay.
Mhm.
And a lot of that is actually attributed to my mindset surrounding fitness because I was able to work out of the public eye instead of
Yeah.
at a gym. I was able to gain more confidence and strength and perfect my form and just be really confident in my ability to work out. And honestly, that did so much for my confidence and my well being. And I am just really happy that I was able to have that time to myself where I could also stop comparing myself to others. So yeah, that was my positive out of quarantine. How about you?
My positives. So as I mentioned earlier, so school was one of them. I'm like,
Hmm.
so the timing for that was just really perfect for me.
Yeah.
And that really helped me. And the positive in that is that I was continuously learning about something that was interesting to me.
Hmm.
And I was also interacting with other students and making those connections while I could. And also, appreciating the time that I had with my family because I
Right.
felt like I was so busy all the time. And I still am busy currently. So
Mhm.
but during that time, I literally just had full access to them. Like we were all like working, like we're not all working, but my dad was working remotely. So like he was still working during the day, but whenever he had time during like the afternoon, we'd like just go on a walk or we'd go play pickleball, or
Yeah.
I'd cook a little bit. It's just it's just appreciating those times at home with the people around you. And then also like appreciating nature because I think a lot of the places that were like open or available for public use were like parks or trails, things like that. And
Yeah.
I've always loved hiking, but now it was really one of the only activities
Mhm.
that I could do outside.
Right.
And so that was really fun. And it just really opened my eyes to what we had before. Like I was blessed with the ability to travel
Mhm.
and the means and the ability. That's what I mean.
Yes.
And now we don't have that. And I'm like, shit, I should have taken advantage of it when I had it, or taken advantage of the opportunities to meet with the friends that I have. Now I'm like, if I'm tired, but I really do want to see my friends, like I'll
Mhm.
go ahead and go see my friends. I'm proud of what I've accomplished during this time because
Mhm.
also fitness was another thing. Same as Tanisha, I stopped comparing myself to a lot of people that I would see at the gym, and I was I was able to do a lot of home workouts with just my body weight, and for some time I didn't think I could get good results from doing that because I thought I had to lift weights
Right.
or do
Right.
this at the gym, right? But surprisingly and thankfully, I was able to keep up a really good workout with just like home workouts, body weight workouts, and videos
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Dude, like some of the hardest exercises are body weight exercises. When you can do multiple pistol squats in a row, when you can do all these freaking pull-ups, like you let me know because that shit is hard. And if you can, I will applaud you. I'll applaud you right now. Show me. I want to see it. Because I worked
Tanisha,
on that all through quarantine. It was very difficult.
but you can do it.
I can only do one pistol squat and very few pull-ups. I just need somebody to teach me how to do more. That's it. Okay.
You know what? That's okay. Give yourself fucking credit, okay?
Yes.
You can do it and you worked on it.
Yes.
I'm currently working on my pull-ups, but that shit is really hard, okay? It really like
Yes.
takes the wind out of you. You are in pain everywhere. That's another story though. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna get there, I mean.
We are gonna
We
get there. We
we're
are
gonna
both
get
gonna
to our goals.
progress. Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And honestly, I would not be speaking like this positively if maybe quarantine didn't happen, honestly. Like I really had to hype myself up and learn to
Yeah.
hype myself up because I only had
Yes.
me. Like I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't do that. I don't look in the mirror, guys. That's something I still need to work on anyways. I would say to myself, you can do it. It's okay that you can't pick up a weight. It's okay that you don't have the weights to make your ass fat. That's fine because
Yes.
Blogilates, she got you, okay?
Dude, she will give you a good workout. Look up any of her videos. They're all intense. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, quarantine, I think, allowed both of us the time to look within ourselves and really find confidence within
Mhm.
us and not find it from external sources, from anybody else or like anything else. So, really
Yeah.
appreciative for the time that we had to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also, like, because I had to improvise based on what I had at home, I
Mm-hmm.
found like other workouts to do, like cardio
Yeah.
kickboxing. And, well, I mean, I did Zumba before, but like doing Zumba again and things like that. So, a lot of, I guess for us, a lot of our personal growth came around like fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
But I hope y'all were able to have some sort of positive outcome from quarantine, whether
Yeah.
it just be, being a little bit more positive or, becoming a master coder. I don't know, but whatever you did,
Yes.
good fucking job.
Yes. And I think maybe a big thing for a lot of people is not taking as many things for granted now,
Yeah.
because you had a lot of things taken away from you during quarantine. Honestly, whether it was people or time or certain life experiences, that now when you go out into the world, after passing this time of quarantine and COVID, you are able to be very present in the moment and live your life to the fullest. Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I think when it was safe enough and I was vaccinated, which we'll get into later, I was
Mm-hmm.
able to like see my grandma and give her a hug.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
because you just never know what's gonna happen. And those moments that I can be close to my grandma, I'm just like
Yeah.
so, so thankful for.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We love to hear it. We love to see that. I'm so happy that
Yeah.
restrictions are getting lifted, because this will be a good thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, as long as, people are still being considerate
Right.
and there are enough people who have received the vaccine, I hope
Yeah.
we'll be okay. But going back to personal growth real quick, if you are
Mm-hmm.
listening to this and you're looking back and you don't feel like you had any personal growth, that's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when you look back at a later time, you'll find something. Again, everyone grows at their own pace.
That's
Everyone will
true.
realize their growth at their own time.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking okay, okay? But we
Yes.
realized it and we're proud and we want to share it.
Yes. Yes. Take your time, do all the things that you need to do, but eventually you're going to get there for sure. Maybe this isn't your time right now, but you will get there and you will embrace it and
Yeah.
everything will be great.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
don't worry about those low times. I'm currently in one, but it's okay because I had a really good lunch today.
You know what? That is something to celebrate. We love food.
Yeah, we do.
Food is amazing.
Honestly, I mean, one thing I started doing because of our book club was writing at least 3 positive things a day. And if I can't think of anything, it's gonna be about food, to be honest. But
Dude, yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Damn, you said that and I instantly had guilt like, wow, I have not been doing that like for a long, long time
And that's okay because I remember
now.
you said that it didn't work out for you because you wouldn't be able to look back at the positives at that point in time. But
That's
for
true.
me, it was helpful because
Yes.
I fucking focused. I was like, bitch, okay, this person's yelling at you over here, but like you had a good taco today. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Different things work for different people. Different things are considered positives for different people. Have I planned my day around my meals because like that was the most exciting thing? Maybe, probably. That's maybe what I did for most of quarantine and what kept me going. So we're proud to say
And that's okay.
that we love food, yes. And that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Like honestly, sometimes I plan my happiness around the days I can wash my hair, which is like twice a week.
Oh
And
my
that's
gosh.
okay. Like yesterday was hair wash
Yes.
day, so like today's kind
Ooh,
of good. But
yes.
anyways. Anything else for personal growth?
I think I am good, and we can
Mhm.
move into vaccines and our vaccination experience.
Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh, risky topic, but whatever.
Hmm. So we are both fully vaccinated.
Fully,
Full.
Fully.
She's spelling again. She's back on that train, you guys.
Call me spelling bee my.
Oh, so many nicknames. I love it. Okay. So I personally got Moderna, and you also got Moderna.
I did.
Yeah. And how was your first dose experience with the vaccine?
One day we're gonna have an episode about my experience with medicine,
Yes.
healthcare. That's another story.
Oh man.
But You know, I'm afraid of blood. I'm afraid of shots. I'm afraid of
Mhm.
needles.
Mhm.
But I'm not afraid of fighting COVID, okay?
There we go. There it is.
And so when I received my first shot, I don't ever look at the needle. I don't watch them do it.
Mhm,
But my first shot was pretty good. I was actually very lucky to get it when I did. I got it on the right side of my arm,
mhm.
but like later in the day, my left arm started hurting. And then when I was sleeping, both of my arms were hurting. And like the weirdest, I mean, it's not weird, but like I tend to sleep on my side. So it was hard to sleep.
Yeah.
And every time I tossed and turned, I was like, ow and ow, you know?
Right and left and out.
Like, ow, ow, right? And I mean, that was the only thing for the first shot. Like, I just had sore arms and that's it. How about you?
So for my first dose, like I was straight chilling. I had a great time. I
Oh,
walked in, the nurses took care of me. They were all so freaking sweet and I felt like they were all my mothers. They were all like females in there, okay? And they were just
oh,
like,
so sweet.
"Are you doing okay, sweetie?" Like all this stuff and like they were just the best people and I am really thankful for you guys because you made my experience really great.
Hmm.
Um but they have to monitor you for like 15 minutes after you get
Yeah.
the shot, right? And so they made us sit in these chairs like socially distanced, right? And then they put on music like what is it called, the cha-cha slide and stuff like that, and the nurses were just like dancing and I was like,
That
it's
is
a
so
fucking party,
cute.
isn't it? And they were like, you guys got to move your arms so you don't get sore tomorrow, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move my arms. This is the best time I've had
What
in
the
a medical
hell?
facility. Yes.
I didn't have a party.
It was amazing. Beyonce came on. She wasn't actually there.
Oh
Okay.
my
We wish she
God.
was, but the energy, it felt like she was there. Okay.
You
I
know,
loved
that
it.
sounds really fun. I didn't even know that happened. Why do you have
Um
such great experiences with
I
a I'm over here getting attacked and you're just like getting a party.
if you guys don't know Kim I, like she just has like for some reason the worst luck with certain like medical experiences, I
Yeah. You know, I try to keep up with this shit. But they don't want me to, okay? They're like, "Let's scar her so she doesn't come back
guess.
for another 10 years or something."
There's always something that happens and then Amanda and I have to hear about it during book club and
Yeah.
it's an
And they laugh at
adventure.
me. They laugh.
Oh, you laugh at yourself too. So like we
I
got to try
do.
to
That's
lighten
fine.
the mood, you know.
Yeah. I always talk about my unfortunate experiences in here.
Yes,
That's a
misfortunes.
defense mechanism, but that's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Anyways, that second dose though.
That second dose. How was yours?
That second dose. Well, I just want to start off saying, okay, again, so it was unexpected that I got my first dose. And what I
Hmm.
had to do was make an appointment to get my second dose. And oh my God, it was difficult. Like I had to look right away and try to find the closest place to get my
Yeah.
second dose because appointments, they were being eaten up by the
Yes.
Cookie Monster or something, okay?
Yes.
He was like fresh out of the oven, fresh set of appointments,
Oh
yum
my
yum
God.
yum, gone, okay? Like that's literally how it was and I had to be like, "Bitch, give me one," okay? And the
Yeah.
closest one, so I live in San Jose, the closest one that I could get was in fucking Gilroy, guys. And if y'all don't know geography, that's okay, I don't either. But
Attacked.
Gilroy is about 30 minutes away from San Jose,
Uh-huh.
and that was the closest appointment I could get. And I had to just choose the time because after I chose the time, I tried to look for other ones and find different appointments. I couldn't even
Hmm.
fucking find Gilroy anymore, okay? So
Yeah.
it was like done deal. I was thankful to get an appointment and it took with traffic about like 45 minutes to get there and then coming
Hmm.
back even longer. I was thankful that my parents were off, so we were able to carpool and I didn't have to drive.
Yeah.
But I think after the second one, I was a little lightheaded as I was sitting down, but it wasn't too concerning. Like I didn't know if I
Hmm.
was dehydrated or if it was the shot.
Right.
But my brother, so I was the last one in my household to get the shot. Everyone else got it. I saw their symptoms. Brian got the shot and he was out for a day. My brother was out for
Hmm.
3 days. So I was like really worried and my mom didn't feel anything. My dad was out for maybe a day. I didn't feel anything and my brother told me to take an Advil right after, but I was like, I got to go to work the next day. And if I'm going to
Yeah.
call off, I want it to be legit because I can't lie, guys. Okay. Like I can't.
She's too
And
honest.
so I really am. And so I was like, I'm not gonna take an Advil because what if I take an Advil and I'm like feeling kind of okay? Like I can't call off when I really
Yeah.
should. Okay. That's an issue
Yeah.
with me. But so I didn't take it because I wasn't really feeling anything. But at night, I had the biggest headache. Like it was hard for me to think. I couldn't think. I couldn't lay down. Everything was hurting in my head. My arms were hurting
Oh my
and
gosh.
I couldn't sleep. I really couldn't sleep. And then the next day when I woke up, I had the intentions to go to work. So I got up, but I was like, as I walked to the bathroom, like I felt like the room was spinning. I felt like
Hmm.
my head was too big for my body, like a bobblehead.
Yes, same.
Yeah, you did too?
Yeah, I did
I
too.
was I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" You know? Like, I'm just trying to go to work, but also really like if I don't have to, like that's cool and stuff. Um, so I ended up like calling in. I was like, "Y'all, I can't even drive. I can't even think. You don't want me there." And I think Brian thinks that I probably had a fever um in the evening, like when I was sleeping, I mean. I didn't check my temperature or anything because I was trying to knock the fuck out, which didn't happen. But he thinks I probably had one because I was like really hot.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
then the rest of the symptoms were just feeling very, very tired and having a headache. I did take, I think it was an Advil the day after when I woke up and I was feeling better, but really, really tired up until maybe like the Saturday. So my headache, like all of the bad symptoms were gone towards the evening of the next day after I received the
Yeah.
shot, but I was very, very tired the following like 2 days.
Hmm. Yeah, dude. My second dose was also not, I was not straight chilling like I was
No.
for the first one, okay? I think I was hit moderately hard, okay?
Oh my
Um,
God.
I I got the shot, I drove home, and I was like, I think I feel fine. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I think I need to sit down. So I sat down on the couch. Then I started getting a headache, body aches, chills, and I was like feeling foggy. And also, like, my head was too big for my body.
Yeah. Like, the
That is
fuck
the
is
best
that?
way to describe it. Good job.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, that is accurate. And I was like, dude, like, I gotta lie the fuck down. Okay. And so I did. But let me tell you what my mental state is during this time, what my brain is going through. My body is fucking stressed. Okay.
Oh
Because
God.
I got the shot, and the next day, I had a medical school interview over
Oh
Zoom.
God.
Okay, but still a medical school interview. So what happened was my second dose and my first dose were scheduled at the same time, and if I changed it, I would have to find another appointment, and it was really really difficult to
Yeah.
find appointments. So I was like, I'm just going to keep it because I am already scheduled, right?
Hmm.
And Kim I got the second dose before me, so I was like asking her like, how did you feel? Like how long did you feel crappy? Like, I need to know because I'm so concerned that when I get to my interview, I'm gonna like not know what the fuck is going on. I'm gonna be delirious. I'm not gonna understand what they're saying, and I'm gonna want to sleep. Like, I'm so scared. So, like, how many days was it for you? Can I like a few?
I would say I was feeling the effects for like 3 days, but I was out of commission for
Okay,
1 day.
okay. So, I think I was pretty much the same as you. So I got my second dose at 11 a.m.
Hmm.
Okay, and the next day at 5 p.m., I had my interview over Zoom.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
this is fucking close, guys. I don't know if we're gonna fucking make it. Okay. And I have the usual stress of like having an interview planned. Okay. And I'm constantly worried that I'm just gonna like drop like to the floor and like pass out. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so my headache and my body aches and my chills, everything like that was actually like a roller coaster. Like first, like they were super intense, and then I was fine. And then they were super intense, and then I was fine.
Oh my
And
God.
it was like that all the way up until like an hour before my interview. So like I would feel like I was dying, and then I'd be okay. And I was like, I don't know if I should take some painkillers. Like, I don't know if this is going to make me groggy during my interview. Like, I was so scared to just like do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But by magic, everything
Magic.
cleared up. I felt fucking great. 1 hour before it started, I got everything ready. I got dressed and I was like, let's fucking go. We're going to do this. Okay. And also, okay, I was also stressed because the medical school that I was interviewing for was in Thailand. So I was like worried about miscommunication and stuff like that too, just because
Mm-hmm.
like language stuff, like
Yeah.
barriers and things. Yeah. Um, so yeah, so like all that stress is going on. I get through my interview. They told me it was going to be 3 hours. It was actually 4.5 hours of me
Oh my
sitting there
God.
in front of my computer screen on the Zoom call. We get one bathroom break. And for the rest of the time, you have to stay in front of the camera so they can make sure that you're not doing anything shady. And I was just smiling the whole time. And I had to hum songs to myself because I was muted, but they could see me. So I was just humming like that. And like you couldn't even tell, but like that's how I had to keep myself awake, okay, during this interview.
Oh my gosh.
So I finished the interview, everything went great. I went to sleep and I was like, thank God that's fucking over. And then I think my body was on adrenaline the entire time during that interview. And that's how I got through it because the next day I fucking woke up and I felt like absolute crap. And then I felt better. And then I went to the gym and did a push day. Okay. And then I felt like crap again when I got home and I was out of commission for the next 2 days.
Oh my
So
God, I remember that. When she went to the gym, she posted it on her
I
Instagram, and I was
did.
I was like, "Oh my God, this bitch, she really went to the gym. How did she do that?" Because I did not work out like the next few
Yeah.
days. I was like, "How does she find the strength?" I could barely find the strength within myself to pick up my own legs, and she's over there picking up like 100 pounds of
Wow. Not that much, but
whatever,
thank you for
you know? Like I was
You're
proud of
welcome.
her. I was like, damn, you go, girl. No vaccine can bring you down. But I guess it kind of did,
I
just for a little
wouldn't,
bit.
honestly, like in hindsight, I shouldn't have gone and I should have rested. But I felt really great right before I went. And then as soon as I got home, I was like, this was a mistake. So that was my second dose COVID vaccine adventure.
You know what? I also want to mention, well, okay, I want to mention a few things. So first, also after I got my vaccine, we flew to Vegas for Brian's
Oh,
birthday.
yeah.
I was fucking dead because I went to
Oh
work
my
on
God.
Friday, still dead. Went to work, flew straight to Vegas, and then we went to karaoke and we stayed out until 4 a.m. I wasn't awake the whole time. I fucking knocked out in the karaoke room for like a good hour and a half because I was dying. I was
Mhm.
dying, maybe almost dead, okay, because of the side effects, being
Right.
very tired from work, and just being in an unfamiliar area. It
Yeah.
was- so I think we both went through a lot after our vaccine.
Too much.
Too much.
Too
And
much.
I also want to say, we do not tell this story to scare you from
No.
getting the vaccine, okay? We want you to get the vaccine.
Hmm.
It is your choice. We respect your decision.
Yes.
We may have thoughts about it, but we want you to get the vaccine. And we hope that this story just, it doesn't scare you, okay? It's really
Hmm.
not that bad because it was worth it for me. Now I feel more comfortable to go
Right.
out. I feel more comfortable to see my grandmother.
Yeah.
And just know that when you get the vaccine, there's still a chance that you can get COVID. The symptoms just won't be
True.
as severe.
Hmm.
And that's the reason as to why you should still be wearing masks and social distancing, okay? So please, if you are open to it, get your
Yes.
vaccine when you have the opportunity to,
Right.
and don't be afraid. Like I know people are hesitant to get the vaccine because they are afraid of these side effects, but honestly, the side effects are, it's a trade-off, and I'd
Yeah.
rather get the side effects than get COVID and spread it to whoever.
Right.
Mhm.
Highly recommend you guys getting the vaccine if you are able to.
Mhm.
And you know what? You might be out of commission for a couple days after that second dose, but just take it as time that your body needs to chill out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at it that way.
Yeah. And again, everyone's bodies are different.
Right.
So even our reaction to it may not be your reaction. Because like I said, my mom had no reaction. I know people who have gotten the vaccines, Moderna, Pfizer, and
Hmm.
actually I know one person who got Johnson and Johnson, and most I know some of them who just didn't really have any side effects at all.
Yeah.
I do know people who have gotten it, but you just really never know. And but I haven't had someone say that like they regret taking it at all.
Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing and they think it's worth it to get that vaccine. And if we want to fight this COVID, I mean, I recommend getting a vaccine, okay? It's
Yes.
not going away. We thought it would go away. It's been a year and a half, okay?
Yes.
Anyway, so I mean, after getting the shot, we are still wearing our masks and we're still social distancing. We're doing what we can to fight her. She's here. She not welcome, okay?
No.
And she's changing. She's wearing different wigs. We don't know her.
She's
But we're
one
still
tough
trying,
bitch.
yeah, we're trying to fight her, okay? This COVID, this Covina, okay?
Oh,
Um
Covina. Oh.
and so as this episode is released, restrictions are probably lifted. I hope y'all are being safe, being
Right.
considerate, be nice to yourself, to
Yes.
others, be careful, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
and just remember COVID exists
She's out
and
there.
you better watch out.
Watch out. Make sure to take care of yourselves, you guys. Always put your
Mhm.
mental health first.
Yes.
And you know what? That's it for our episode, guys. Thanks for listening.
Follow us on Instagram at kinda.tempted, subscribe, and give us a like on YouTube, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.